two, one.
PzNqZ manifesting on the highest plane, seven circle on my brain. Activation, conscious stimulation for the nation. Are you on your P's and Q's? Am I? Well, I guess we're gonna have to find out. It's been a long week. 1 week since election day. And whew, it's going down. I never thought this would happen. You know, I'm gonna talk about a few things that's been taking place. We're gonna go into the big shocker. You know, who won the election? We all know that. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the riots taking place around the country. I'm gonna go in a little bit on the online craze, the panic, the fray, and also the poll numbers, and see if it made sense. And I'm gonna go a little bit in on the electoral colleague and what that's all about. First of all, the big shock, the earthquaker, the boogeyman. The boogeyman won. After everything that he said live on TV, just with mad guts, you know, full-blown testosterone, you know what I'm talking about? But hey, I can't hate. The brother won. It is what it is. But it's a trip. He said some cold stuff, man. I'm not even gonna lie. Most of the stuff he said had a lot of truth to it. Like, for instance, he was like, oh, black people walk down the street and get shot. We don't have no jobs, the infrastructure, the education. All this is true. People felt like that was a backlash out. It is what it is. Hillary is a criminal and a crooked, and she needs to go to jail and all this. And, you know, call her, you're a nasty lady or some stuff like that. He was the beast, you know. He was he came out and flexed. I think it was a battle with the sexes as well. So they send out the most beastie, brawly, you know what I'm saying, strong American, you know, icon, you know, rich white boy, you know what I'm talking about? That part of America, that power structure. Man, Trump even challenged the whole government. Like, you called the whole government corrupt, talked about the military is horrible, you know, just Obamacare is horrible, which lately, you know, at the same time he said that, some statistics came out and actually admitted, they came out and actually admitted that prices are going up and this and that. I don't know. But my thing is, a lot of people got healthcare that wouldn't have had healthcare. So that's the part you kind of like, okay, well, you got to come up with something better. You know what I'm talking about? When he was going in on the immigration, he was focused on the fact that, you know, a lot of the ones that commit crimes, they end up staying here, or they keep letting them back in. They keep coming back in. Another issue was with his comments about Islam, radical Islam. You know, of course, logical people know that he's talking about the people that has been painted as terrorists. I mean, think about it. Back in the days, all the movies, the terrorists were usually either Asian or, you know, Middle Eastern. They've always used those people as terrorists, and that's been going on for a long time. I personally feel like they were forced to become militant because of the invasion of the Western power source. You know, the military power from the West. They have the resources, the oil and whatnot. I don't know if you guys remember, but when we first invaded Iraq and all that after 9/11, the way that they were dropping bombs over there didn't make no sense. I think we all forgot about what America did to that area. You know, it even after all the sexual harassment charges, accusations, my bad. After all the sexual harassment accusations from all these random women that came out of the blue, he still won. My thing is, where they at now? Where all those women go? The fact of the matter is that he still won, and that's it. And you know, when he won, the people that voted for him went nuts. They went nuts. They was cheering. They was high-fiving and look at their hat and pumping their shirts. They're gonna make America. We're gonna make America great again, guys. We're gonna make America great all over again. That's all I gotta say about that. I don't know if y'all can see that. Wow. Yeah. Rise up. Yeah, that's the song. Rise up. Right now. Now, the sad part about the whole thing is the fact that Team Hillary, they was crying and all looking real sad and just like shocked, like no, like it's like they just could not believe it. They were so like lost, like as if their whole life was over. Man, they got y'all scared of Trump. I mean, people are like shaking in their boots. People ready to move to different countries and, you know, all type of stuff. We just were so ready to just like, we're gonna let this one dude scare us to death like that. We done been through all this stuff in this country. You gonna let one man can't come in and just shake you all the way up? All you can do is complain about it. But mainly what I want to say is, don't get so caught up in all the hype. You know, the media had y'all hyped up about going against Trump, and it really got turned up because of that song Nipsey Hussle and YG had.
Yeah, fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, nigga, fuck Donald Trump.
That had everybody turned up. I mean, before it even got this far, so it became a mantra, and people was turned up. That's leading to these riots that are taking place. Okay, let me rephrase that. These protests. Some protesters are paid too. Let's not forget that. You got they call agent provocateurs. They come in dressed in all black with hoodies and just start smashing stuff and setting fires before, you know. I don't know. Maybe that's just for my conspiracy theory people. I don't know. Y'all might be too bougie to take some deep knowledge. I don't know. Agent provocateurs. They come in, protest, and they get to doing the violent stuff and creating all the anarchy. You know, the anarchists. Hey, somebody got to do it. But at the end of the day, it'll turn the protest into a riot. I'm seeing stuff burn. I'm hearing vulgar language out there. People are saying F Trump. What are we gonna do? Trump is the boogeyman, right? But to me, Hillary is a boogeyman too. Boogie woman, whatever people might say. Wait a minute, that's a woman. You're gonna say boogie woman. He's the boogeyman, but Hillary is too. She was a part of some stuff too. He ain't even done nothing in politics. Just like he said. She's been in there for 30 years, but made a whole lot of bad decisions. Or let me see her bad decisions weighed out her good decisions. I don't know. Y'all be the judge of that. But it's like y'all hate Trump. Y'all hated Trump so much that y'all just ignored everything that was going on with Hillary. Just gave her a pass. Like, well, I don't care who I'm not voting for him because he a racist and he want to make it. He want to make America great again like it used to be in Jim Crow and slavery. Do you hear yourself? That's not happening. First of all, we're too intermixed up now. We're too intermixed up, for one. all like a lot of the hardness is not really in people no more. People really like care more because we see what's going on around the world. The world is smaller. Like for instance, if they did try to do that, other countries would invade America to stop Trump, just like how they invaded to stop Hitler. They would have to shut down all social media, the internet. It would have to be an American blackout. And then people would eventually start coming over here because first of all, we travel a lot. So we might be in other countries unless every country, the whole world just start going on some push everybody back to America and they just all just smash us up or something like y'all been ignoring us all this time and now it's your turn, you know. Babylon burning, huh? Rise, my fire. And another thing, do I feel like the protests slash riots are a waste of time? No, of course not. Because at least we're not just quiet. Because, you know, they say not saying nothing is almost as bad as being a part of the act. But yeah, the people gotta go out there and make noise. See, now it's in their mind like, okay, people are like, okay, whoa, for real, really? And supposedly petitions have been signed like up in the millions to do a recount of the electoral college. Man, get out of here. That's over. You know, democracy already did its thing. Your boy Obama just came out and said that with his press conference yesterday. Now the downfall to all this protesting is the protesters slash some rioters are painting a picture of the future of America by them making the statements, he's not my president, fuck Donald Trump, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah, and on and so forth. Kudos to all the soldiers out there, the real ones, not the fake ones that's paid. Trump or the future White House processes, they're reading the minds of everyone. They're monitoring your emotions on Facebook and social media websites. So they're basically saying, okay, America is not happy. They're anti-government. They're conspiracy theorists. They know all of our secrets. So maybe we gotta change laws to secure the safety of American capitalism, American corporationism. So that can be a form of martial law. It may not be including Obama, but Trump might be the continuation of what Obama would have done, which he still is the president because Obama was just the president of America, the representative of America, but America is just America. So by them saying, oh, he's gonna be the last president, America is the last president. The president is the spokesman to get policies passed. Spokesman. Okay, the manipulator, the magician. It's all good. Much respect to the kings and queens. See, now since the paranoia have you know went on overflow, you feel me, self-destruction. Now they're gonna be ready. They're gonna be ready now, so they're gonna up the military action. They're gonna add more policing to certain neighborhoods. They're gonna have more military SWAT-like tactical forces in our communities, more cameras, you know, more spying, you know, everything. Less and less and less privacy. They're squeezing, you know, the eye in the sky, red eye. There's finna be a new office that's finna take place. And they want to rebuild all the infrastructures and all this and all that. And we are moving into the robot world. And we're dealing with a billionaire corporation type cat. So he can start a robot company and build that up. Develop more of a technological computer technology type brains. Get into technology. Get into information, security, web stuff, you know, get into technology because that's going to be the new. Build the infrastructures. The buildings are falling. The aircrafts are too old and blah, blah, blah. That means this is going to be the new era. Terminator is on his way. Okay? He's the real Arnold Schwarzenegger. You was worried about Arnold Schwarzenegger in California? He's the Arnold Schwarzenegger of America now. Rise up, my people. Rise up. You already know what it is. But besides all that stuff, man, end of the day, it's too late. What do y'all think is gonna be a recount? We all gonna go back and vote again. The only way that it could be fair for all of America, which it ain't fair anyway, but everyone would have to vote all over again. And you know what's gonna happen? It's gonna be a new campaign. It's gonna be a new election race during this whole process, and then Trump supporters gonna start tripping like, we already got him, it's not fair, blah blah blah. So that's gonna create more tension on their side and more tension on our side. It's gonna get even more personal if there's a recount. It's like football. People get into fights over football. So what makes you think for 1 second people won't fight over this election? They already have been, matter of fact. I done seen some white boys get smashed on. I done heard about some white people smashing on some nigga shit. You know, they already burnt the church down and said Trump on the side of it. So just imagine what type of it'd be mad pandemonium everywhere. People would go crazy. That would create more passion. And you see how they're acting right now because Hillary didn't win. Just imagine if they recount it and then Trump, then Hillary win, then Trump supporters is gonna go out and do the same thing. We just have to just get on the boat and float into the moonlight. And my thing is, if you're really upset, if you're really pissed off about this whole thing, get into politics. Get the people in your area, excited about being a part of the movement. You go out there and rally and get people to vote for you to be the information person. Then you bring the information to the people. Y'all have like a little group or something. It could be a Facebook group. You update it with information, have meetings. What do the people in the area want? You want this, I want that. Okay, how can we get somebody to help us sort this out? Don't get all cranky over politics unless you're really a part of it. Just because you vote once, that don't mean nothing. You got to vote way more often than that. It's deeper than that. It's so much deeper than that. I'll get into that when I talk about the elector colleague or college or whatever. The super delegates. One last thing is the panic. All day on Facebook, people were in complete and total panic. And they still are. It calmed down, but everybody was people were just sad and down. It was just blue, like, damn, really? Like I said, y'all really let this dude mess all your emotions up. But what it has done, it has sparked people's brain to get real creative. They're like, okay, I gotta get focused. I gotta get on my grind. No more playtime is over. It's finna get hard. I gotta think about the future. I gotta get my visa. I gotta get my money up. I gotta get my guns. I gotta get my survival equipment. Everybody is turned up, and that's a good thing. Stay motivated. If you're not motivated, get motivated. Stay motivated. Teach your kids to get motivated. I mean, it boosts my motivation too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. But I've been on daily activation. Asking myself, are you on your P's and Q's? It's good to talk to yourself. Sometimes that's the best person. You can say the craziest things to yourself and then be like, damn, I didn't mean none of that. But you can't say that to nobody else. So keep that in mind. Activation. So, and one last thing about that, we realize that unity is needed. Unity is needed amongst groups that share the same interests. You see what the LGBT community has done. They didn't change the conversation of everybody. Now you gotta say, no matter what religion, sex, sexual preference, culture, like that. How did sexual preference get thrown in there? Because the LGBTQ, whatever, y'all know what I'm talking about. Unity, and they activated, and a lot of them people in politics is kind of, on that level. Anyway, that's another story. Unity is needed. for whoever you are. That's why they have places like Chinatown, Koreatown. You go to areas where it's a lot of Hispanics, Mexican, Latinos. I don't want to disrespect nobody. To where they got their side of town. They got their own stores, restaurants. They got their own areas and culture. We all need our areas like that, and there needs to be more of a focus on that. Everybody need to get their unity together, and then once we're unified, then we can trade and move amongst each other with different levels of respect, because we'll respect each other's culture, circle, power that they show for their community. So the election turnout had people geeked up. Hillary won the popular vote, meaning how many people actually wrote her name in, hit her name on that arrow. But Trump won the super delegate elector college vote. From what I see, he got up to about over 300, and she was like at 232. But the last one CNN had was 290 for Trump and 232 for Hillary on the super delegates, the elector college. And another thing about that, only half of registered voters actually voted. Around half, in between 40 to 60%, something like that. That's it. That's all the people that voted. So obviously people were just like blah. You know what I'm talking about? So I mean, we don't know who did that. Now I have a quick class for everybody. The elector college, super delegates, super people, the super voters, for each state. The electoral college was basically created because they didn't want the majority to rule, and they didn't really trust that it would be fair, because you have some areas that has a way of living, they may have a higher population. Then you have another area that has a certain way of living, and they have a lower population. Therefore, the person that makes the big population win, they're going to focus on them and forget about the small people. Okay. Also, I was listening to Tariq Nasheed, the brother that made Hidden Color, the movie series. Great documentation. Go check that out if you haven't. He broke down how also, because of the population of the people that were enslaved, the captives of war, my ancestors, they were also counted in the population for that area. So it would be a big population, but there's only maybe, let's say it's 50 slaves on the plantation. So that one person that in the household that get the vote counts for 50 people for one vote. It wasn't the proper ratio from voters to population. They also count the population of people in prison when they monitor an area. So that's why the electoral college is in place. He also broke down the areas with prisons are sometimes power states, because they can use the prison population to influence their vote. Because you got 1,000 people in prison, and the warden votes, and his vote basically is in control of all those thousands. So he become 1,000 people. But anyway, that's the whole reason for the electoral college. Well, one of the reasons. If you know more, let me know. Well, so what happens is each area, based on its population, they will have a certain number of representatives. These are people in Congress. Let's make this real easy. If there's 48 representatives for a state, and you have 2 representatives, 48 plus 2 is 50. So now you're going to have 50 electors, which is the elector college, for each party. 50 Republican, Democrat, Independent, blah blah blah, Green Party, everything else. Now what happens is, when people go out and vote, no matter who you voting for, you either voted for a Democratic or Republican candidate. So let's say a state has 100 people. All 100 people go out and vote. 40 people vote Democrat for whoever they voted for, but they voted for a Democratic leader, and 60 people voted for a Republican leader. Now that state, since Republicans won in that state, it has all 50 representatives hitting the slot for Republican. So that state gets 50 superdelegate votes based on that state. So each state has a certain amount of electors based on its population. So that's why certain states, boom, boom, boom. Oh, he won that state. You won that state. That's what that's all about. When the states are winning, those are the elector colleague votes. Those are elector votes that are winning states, which make them turn red and blue. It has nothing to do with what the actual total amount of people voted for that area. Oh, and another thing is, if you wanted to know, it's actually in the Constitution. It's the 12th Amendment. And one other thing about voting is that the vote that you cast on election day, the last vote, that's not the main one. In order for your person to win, they have to keep on winning. So Trump didn't just win because he won that. He been winning back to back to back. These presidents have to win a few times, and before they even make it to the last vote, they have to have at least 270 superdelegate votes per race as they're going throughout the year, because it might start with about 10 Democrats, 10 Republicans, 10 this, 10 that, and it gets narrowed down. That's because they keep on getting superdelegate electors to vote for them in different places. They have to at least have 270, or whoever was next in line, or something to that nature. So that's class. The doors bell's about to ring. All right, you guys are free to go. But before you go, don't forget to stay on your P's and Q's. Stay focused. Don't let this get you down. Like I said, stay focused. Get your game up. Realize that it's time for unity now than ever. Across all lines, but mainly people need to focus on their communities and get into politics. And keep the news on. Don't forget to watch alternative underground news as well to keep yourself informed, because it's obviously getting kind of serious out here. At the end of the day, this protest stuff can stop in a week, 2 weeks. It usually does. So we're gonna see. Don't forget, I have an album. It's called Birth Effect, Year 1. Music that speaks truth to power. So until next time, peace, love, and balance. Catch y'all on the next one.